Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's season 3, episode 2 of Big Talk. We got my man Sam in the building. You guys may have known him from our most recent project, the music video Valentine, dropped on Valentine's. Go check out my man's channel. Link and everything's gonna be below. Go ahead and give that a like, a follow. If you repost it, I love you. And if you don't, you already know your mom's a hoe. Sam, how's it going, my boy?
Living good, loving life. How we been?
Been good, man. Now it's only been a week, 2 weeks since the release of the music video, like two,
Yeah,
like
was
two,
it
2
50?
weeks.
Yeah, just 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty banging. Our event fell through. As you guys know, we were supposed to do that event on the Monday, and I guess this will be the first time I really tell the story or type explainer of what happened. Because I haven't really been vocal. Like I told people it's canceled, but I never really was vocal about it. We we were hosting this event at this spot, super reliable spot, place we've hosted events at before, and right as we're starting to roll up, he realizes that the power's not on, man. So it was a problem with the power. We don't have electricity. How are we supposed to have the lights to do whatever? We had the projector, everything going. Super tragic, but the launch ended up great. Got a good amount of support. So many people reached out and told me they fucked with the video. How did you feel about it, bro?
It was so fun. I mean, Uptown Charlotte, it was crazy. Like, I think we did it all in, 2 days? Maybe?
2 days to shoot. Three, because then we
3
went to the
days.
crib.
Got the 8 Uptown, too, right?
Yeah,
Like, didn't we?
yeah.
What was
No,
it
we went
again?
to where the fuck did we go? I don't even remember. My favorite part was what was your favorite part of filming? Like, what was the favorite location?
Oh, had to be the rooftop shot. It had to be the overseeing Charlotte,
That was fire. I'm gonna post a little picture up here in the background. Maybe it's on the green screen. Maybe I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do this whole
yeah.
new content thing for this new season. But yeah, took some great photos. The rooftop was dope. Shout out to Kyra for the car, man. It was nice. Had the convertible little drop top. Filming out there. I remember at one point you were doing donuts in the parking lot, and I was hanging on the back trying to film down on them with like
crazy.
the stabilizer. And then everybody I don't know, you remember the final scene where you're driving off right when the credits start. And I was running next to the car.
Yeah.
Remember, you were driving off and I'm running next to the car. People kept hitting me up like, "Yo, you used a drone for that shot? That drone's crazy."
Right, yeah.
And I was like,
Nope.
I was running, boy. I was using about 2 feet. My sister was like, "Yo, for real?" And I was like, "I was moving, boy. You never seen a fat man move when he got to get the shot, boy." Better represent. Yeah. Former athlete, all that. You were a former soccer player yourself.
Baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that is right.
Yeah, still playing and stuff.
Yeah, no, I remember in college, you get to that point where you're not really playing your sport anymore.
Right.
And it's like hard to like I think if baseball the same as football. It's not the same as basketball. You can just go pick up basketball any day with your boys, whether they played before or not.
Yeah.
Baseball, you got to get a good amount of people, like at least minimum 10 people together.
You can't play no sandlot ball like you used to.
Yeah, no, facts.
Back
And
in like the 80s and stuff, you could just go straight up.
So as like a former football player, I always felt it like when flag football season came around, I was in my element. I was the big boy quarterback. I could sling that thing anywhere on the field. I also had great hands. I knew, my dad coached all positions as a big man. So I, was good with the feet, with the routes. I had everything down.
Bro,
but it's only like every once in a while you can play pickup football. And I know it's hard to not be able to show out in your sport anymore when you used to be a killer.
At the age of 8, I was a 5-star athlete, bro. Like when it was time to go outside, recess type, where you had probably like, for me, it was my 5th grade teacher. Always be all-time quarterback. I would have 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and if I didn't have a kick return for a touchdown, bro, it was a lost cause.
Straight like that. The meme with the meme with the kid, and it's like the kid's drinking out the water fountain. There's a girl behind him doing the 1, 2, 3. That's enough for you, or whatever little chances the girls be doing near the water fountain.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Something like
something
about like not drinking water more, and then the caption is like, when the girl just walked around the track for 2 hours, but you had 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, two kickback runs, and you need to hydrate, and he turns around, smacks, and then goes back to. That's how I be feeling for real.
That was tough. I remember just elementary school in general, it would be 12 kids lined up to one water fountain. And you would only have 5 seconds to get your breath, and then I'd be sweaty the next class, and math just wet.
Nah, high school, bro. We had the little setup suite on the football team, right? we had weightlifting class, and the teacher decided who got to get in the class. So it was a football coach. One of the football coaches was always the weightlifting teacher. So we had a little setup. First block, weightlifting class. You didn't even have to show up to school on time because it was your coach. What was he gonna do? Write you up, and then you get suspended, and then you don't get to go play in the game. We play Friday, coach. What you gonna do? And we didn't show up late every day, but also we got our lifting in the morning.
Right.
We lift and then change, go to 3 more classes because you'd have 4 classes a day, and then we'd be right back in the weight room in the afternoon. So the boy was all conference. We got all swole and ready to play. It was one of those things that really helped out, but it really set the mood when you had weightlifting first period, and then some days you wouldn't weightlift, you gym, because it was still gym class, and you go hoop or play football. It was the move, man. It was the move. College, the one that when I went to UNC Charlotte, they had gym classes,
really?
As elective type
intramural type.
No, it was weird because it was for the kids studying to be athletic trainers and all stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
but anybody could get into it and take it as to get the graduation credit points type thing.
Just be bull, bro.
It was just bro, you got to get out of that gym habit. I don't know if your school does. I wish they had classes on how to do stuff like this. Create content, editing, stuff like that. I don't know if your school had anything like that.
I think it's super important though. A lot of people don't really know how to utilize what it takes to actually start filming. Because a lot of those skill sets you don't really get to use in a classroom setting environment. But the second that you need to legitimize some real stuff in the real world, bro, nobody's gonna show you that.
And I think at a certain point it all comes down to experience, because I know cats who did study this, at different schools and do stuff and go on and try to get jobs that who've been working, I worked for WBTV for a year. I worked for the Panthers for 5 years, and work around crews, video and learning everything. You'll pick up more from doing that than you can in a classroom. I know for a fact that, building in high school, we had an AIS program that we built stadium designs and floor plans and stuff for competitions. And I learned more about Revit and AutoCAD and that than I did in my whole first year of architecture, where we were just working on models and stuff. And I'm sitting here in college sitting here bro, can we get to the good part type shit? I already, I skipped this, and I was looking at the exciting stuff that had to do with architecture. And now I'm out here drawing squares and lines and working on, artwork. And, it just ended up not being for me. This, on the other hand, man, I self-taught all of this.
I think the best things you're always good at are self-taught, because that shows you what it is you're interested in actually getting better at. You can't teach somebody how to teach themselves.
Right. So music for you, you've always, every time I've asked, you said I've always done music.
Yeah, I mean
self-taught everything.
I remember being in 5th grade going crazy in GarageBand. I had no idea how to make a beat. None of that. It was straight. I remember the first time I recorded my first song, I was in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. I had a pair of Apple headphones that I stole. I stole from another girl. I remember the whole day like it was yesterday. Her name was I won't say her name, but it rhymes with phony.
And if you say her name, we'll bleep it out, and then that way we'll keep going. It's for story purposes, but only say it once. I'm not trying to go to bleep all the footage, but yeah.
But so this girl, right? We were talking. She's playing with me a little bit. She's like, Sam, you're like this, you're like that, blah, blah, blah. So I made it a mission to make this girl's day. All right, but.
You made her day.
I took it so personal because I was telling everybody, hey, guys, I'm going to make my first song today. Watch out. I'm going to take over. She's like, you can't rap. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I was like, you know what? All right, bet. I was plotting on her for the rest of the day. She had left her headphones on her desk. And she had walked out the door, and I was like, oh, no, wait. Actually, I got it. So I go home, plug it into my laptop, open up GarageBand on my dad's computer, because at this point I didn't have a computer. Looking at how to, create a beat. I tried for, 45 minutes on, the basic drum kit. And I was like, this is garbage. And so the next thing I did was... I went to YouTube, opened up an MP file. Okay. And I was like, all right, let's find, it was either, it was the 10 Toes Down, you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's been a minute, bro. So this was in what grade? For the 5th grade? 6th grade. 6th grade.
And so, so I was in my bag because she had told me I wasn't going to be nothing. And I was like, you know what? You know what?
Was it a diss track though?
It was not a diss track.
I was about to say that would have been tough. My first track ever is just in that hole told me couldn't make it.
If my first track was a diss track, I would probably be a diss rapper. I don't feel like I'm a diss rapper. I feel like I'm a good vibes kind of dude.
Good vibes.
So I'm in my bag, blah blah this that and third. Do my little thing, pop it up on SoundCloud. I remember for the whole next 3 weeks, I had this girl's headphones, and she was like, "Are those my headphones? I lost my headphones a couple days ago." And I'm just like, "Nope, these are mine. These are mine." Bumping my song with her headphones every day in class.
The villain origin story.
I knew from that day on, if I could do that, I could do anything. Because if she don't believe in me, I know at least I'm gonna believe in myself.
Her headphones heard your song more than she did.
My song first. So I think if anything,
were they recorded? The recorded headphones, like the little iPhone.
Oh yeah, the little. Remember you had the button on the side.
Yeah. Okay.
I was in here like, hey,
Oh, you rapped on them too, bro.
Savage. I was singing it. I was going in. I had 24. I had 24 different clips. I was going vocals. I was going low notes. I was going crazy on the ad libs. And I remember I was just trying to even it all out because there's all types of different volumes, bro.
Yeah.
I remember I go back and I listen to some of the old stuff that I make, and it's so crazy how you can get so much more out of recognizing somebody who took initiative.
Yeah.
It's so much power in listening to an artist's early stuff. Mm-hmm. Even early.
Go back and listen to Young Simba
right.
and stuff.
Any type of artist, any type of Kanye, any type of young. Cole,
I feel like the moment you discover an artist, right? So I'll say within the last 2 or 3 years, I've become one of the biggest Joyner Lucas fans, right? Mm-hmm. And when I heard the first song that I heard was actually a remix. When he used to drop those remixes of Panda and Bank Account, and he used to drop them on YouTube, right? And just go stupid. And no idea who Joyner Lucas was, but of course now I'm on his YouTube. Boop, click, run it back. Right. Looked at his Suicide album, the 1800. It was the same number that Logic used, but he used it for the whole album. And that's why him and Logic were beefing. So then I went back, watched the whole Logic and him beef. Then I listened to some of his old shit, like Ross Cappuccino and what was Capriccio, Ross, whatever. But the story about that kid. And I was like, yo, this dude stop. And then he came out with I'm Not Racist. Soon after I
remember that.
Yeah,
video,
right after.
Crazy.
Right after I discovered him, he came out with that. Like not even a couple weeks after I first heard a song by him. He came out and blew up the internet. And I'm like, damn, I've heard this old shit now. I feel like a real fan. You know what I mean? You feel like a real fan.
That I'm Not Racist music video is the first time I heard Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, most people, yeah.
So I remember watching it and I was like, is Joyner Lucas white? Cause he ain't
because it was the guy. It was the two guys in the video.
The white dude and maybe I was like, oh, he just.
But see the way he raps, and there's multiple, 5 or 6 of his songs where it's like that, where he's rapping as two different people rapping against each other, and every single one of those is hard as hell. Bro. Every single one of those, the music video, everything is just tough, man. He did one about suicide, and it was the letter. He was rapping as the letter of the kid who ended up killing himself. Mm-hmm. His letter to his best friend. And then, the letter ended with him shooting himself. And then the next part of the rap started with the best friend at the funeral rapping to him in response to the letter. Bro, I was sitting there watching grown ass man, trying to make sure nobody was watching, bro. Damn, bro, he went stupid on a lot of those tracks.
I remember, because I've never thought about it, but that reminds me of I remember early Eminem was Stan.
Yeah, where he was rapping the letter to himself.
Writing the letter to himself with the girl. It was those types of songs always stuck out to me because it was it's not just about rapping about something, but it's the storytelling element,
right? 100%.
That is so prideful. Because then when you start doing videos and you start,
and for me, that's
world build. When you start world building to that music, to that story, it blows up to something so much bigger.
So the story of how we started working together was your uncle sent me your album and asked me to find a song that I wanted to do a music video for. It was whether, just find one that you find some inspiration for. And the first time I heard Valentine, like I said, immediately in my head, as I'm listening to it, I'm feeling your story. I'm feeling what you were going, what you were trying to put into that song, which is why it was so easy for me to come up with, I got the premise. And then I told you the premise, and you said, okay, but what if we change this and this? And I was like, ooh, smart. Even better. We're going to change this and this too. Right. We talked for a week or two. Next thing you know, all right, what dates? We got to work together. We got to get this meeting together. We got to throw it together. But it's like that. For me, I like the songs where, you can, because I've had other people come to me with music videos. I'm not going to drop any names, but, drop me a song and I'm like, this is just some ignorant shit, man. Like, I'm not
Right.
it's a good song. I'll turn up to it. But you're asking me to do a music video, man. This is just hoes in the club, bottles and money and,
About to get the camera wet,
basic music video stuff, man. I want to make something cool. I want to make something memorable, something you can follow. Right. And, that's why I'm doing an explainer video on my channel. You guys, the link is going to, pop up in my Instagram and everything. And it's going to be like the kind of my creative vision through the Valentine music video. I will go through and review it. Once again, if you haven't watched that video, drop below, hit the link, click like, your mom's a hoe. And, then go watch the review on my channel and I'll tell you what I was trying to do with each shot, what we did to get each shot. The lady's trying to run us out the parking deck. Try to create a music video for a low budget, man. You got to sneak into some places. You got to do some things you don't. Wouldn't necessarily do, but I think it's fire. It's probably the worst podcast question you can ask an artist because everybody probably asks it, but I mean, you can tell straight to the camera. Influences, man. Who's give me the artist that has the most influence on you, and then give me an artist that you want to be like, but not be like and surpass because that should be the goal.
Okay. My most inspirational one, I would have to say probably I love Childish Gambino. I think as a kid growing up, I just seeing him grow as a writer off of Community and 30 Rock into that whole element of discovering himself as an artist.
Right.
Was so crazy to see that transition of how you can be so many different facets of yourself while you're still simultaneously growing through all of them.
Right.
And I mean, that was me impactful just to see how you can be everything as a creative. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself so fast into saying, I can't do this or I can't do that. And I mean, when it comes to the impact that I want to leave as an artist and comparative to somebody else, I would say maybe a Kid Cudi.
Uh-huh.
I really like how his message never really resides in him having to prove himself to anything or anybody, but more of his message resides in his audience.
Right.
Of what he's trying to build, which is just a world that you are bought into simply because you resonate with it,
And I really like both of those answers, super in depth. I try to think about it myself all the time because when it actually comes to watching music videos and stuff, I'm always thinking about the artist. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about who the artist is and all that. But then you really start to get into it as my profession, and you'd ask me who do I look up to, and you don't know the names of the guys making the videos.
Right.
What are their names? You don't know the names of the guy. You don't know the brands. And then you start to look at it, and it gets bigger. Joyner, he directs most of his own stuff through Tully, which he owns a big part of. And then you get the baby who has his own, the Real Goats, who have been doing all his videos this whole time, and they be showing out and stuff like that. And then you get some big creators out there who are turning up. But for me, all my inspirations don't exactly do what I do. One of my huge inspirations in the creative field is Destroying. I don't know if you know that is. He's a creator who does football content and vlogs and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he just shows, to me, it's consistency and then putting yourself out there 100%. Yeah. At the end of the day, I could have finished with college, graduated, got a normal ass job, but I'm out here trying to create content, help other people create content, build a brand, something big, and then reach my final goal. And his whole thing was he was a kicker at UFC, and he was making Destroying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at the college, he was making YouTube content, and his YouTube got really popular. He was making funny videos, whatever, on YouTube. And NCAA called him and was like, "You can't make money as a college athlete. Your YouTube channel, you need to give all the money away.
Right.
You need to stop making YouTube videos or make them anonymously, or we're going to take away your scholarship, your full ride scholarship to college. You have two choices: do that, or do this." And he said, "Okay." He said it was a great decision, but he was like, I'm doing YouTube now, full time YouTuber now. Fuck it. And he wasn't even making that much money from YouTube.
Right.
Now, he's got millions and millions of subscribers. He drops a video every 2 days. He has a guy, a cameraman that follows him around, David Direct, follows him around all the time, videoing for him, edits for him. Here's Sean, the editor. He has a team. He goes around making content, just playing football, dunking on people,
right.
Going to the Super Bowl, NFL invites him, that's his life now. And he just put everything it is into one thing. And for the longest time, I've been trying to like find, some people like you said, you've been making music since you were in the sixth grade. You've been on that thing. You know what you wanted. Like for the longest time, I thought I was gonna be an architect.
Right.
I thought I was gonna sit at a desk and build buildings, and I thought it was cool. Like what people always need architects. You know what I mean? Like it'll be sustainable. I'll have money to do what I want. But then I decided, oh well, maybe I'll work for the news, and the news was just, it was fine. It was just I didn't like not knowing what I was going to be doing the next day. You don't know what the new news is every day.
Right.
I need a little bit of consistency, and now I found video on working for the Panthers, and I'm like, oh, okay, like this is something that like I trained myself for to be better and better, and the story how I started editing, my first ever video that I put on this YouTube channel is actually the first video I ever fully edited by myself, like at all. Really? When I worked for the Panthers before that, I went. My dad and Mrs. Stephen were like, "We need you to go on a shoot, and we need you to go shoot." Sir Per and some of the players are going to Academy Sports to give like gifts to like buy gifts for kids. We're gonna send you out with a camera. You're gonna video. Just one of those things that they can put on the Panthers.com, whatever. Go video it. Comes out on the big screen. I was like, "Oh, I'm the video guy." Okay, cool. Right. So I went out and videoed it. And video. I had a great time. It was crazy cool to finally like, oh, I'm doing this by myself. This is fucking dope. Get back, handling the footage, but Steven grabs it and hands it back to me. He's like, oh man, I don't got time to edit this. Here, sit down at the computer, plugs it in. This is a program right here. Edit me up a short story about this. I'll be back. Walks out the door. And I never told him this, but I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this program, and I'm like, he thinks I know how to video edit. I have never videoed it before. I worked there.
Put me in the game.
I worked there. But yeah, I worked there. I knew how to video. I was great at videoing. I never videoed it before. I was like, damn.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, here you go. 3-screen monitor set up. There's YouTube teaching me how to work this. Motherfucker know nothing about it. Literally like worked really hard for hours and didn't really come up with anything. And he kind of hit me up and was like, yo, what's up? You done? I was like, kind of. It looked kind of bad. He's like, oh, just kidding. It doesn't even matter. I already did it. Like, yada, yada. And I was like, damn. All right, cool. But then I went home and I was like, the next time that happens to me, I'm gonna know how to do it. Boy, I was on for like a week or two on YouTube. Right. I downloaded Shotcut, the first program I ever used, learned how to do it, learned how to edit everything, started messing with the podcast, I was editing those, and then finally made that YouTube video, and it got me started. Now you see my vlogs, you see the quality of the intro you were talking about, now you see where I am with the program, it's like, damn, bro, like I taught myself all that within the last 2-3 years.
It starts with feeding that idea, honestly. Like, once you just give faith to that you have good ideas, you don't ever find yourself in a situation where you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
Nah, people definitely need to learn that, like, when people tell me all the time that, like, oh, I can't do this, like, I need somebody to do this for me. And, like, yeah, I'm willing to do it for you if I'm getting paid, of course. Right. But at the same time, bro, like, my whole thing is, like, if you can save money doing something, like, being a YouTuber is hard. The hardest part about being a YouTuber is editing your videos. Right. People don't understand. Like, I filmed the video today. I was just flying around, filming, be it me filming. But now I got to plug that in and sort through 5 gigabytes of footage, pick out the little parts that I need, fix the sound, fix the lights, put the intro at the beginning, words on the screen when any words on it. All that's going to take me like 2 hours.
Taking those mental screenshots.
And you're not getting paid for it. Yeah. You're doing it. So when these YouTubers get big, people's got to realize that they're paying somebody to edit. They're paying somebody to film. They're not doing any of that. They have... they grew by themselves, but now they don't have to. Right. And that's when YouTube becomes daily and easy and consistent. What I'm trying to do now is film a bunch of content in like a week, edit for like a week, and then have content for the whole next 4 weeks. Yeah. And so that way, I'm not sitting here every day editing. So like this month, everybody knows I'm about to be in Argentina, Mexico for like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm probably there right now as you're listening to this podcast for the first time. You know what I mean? I'm probably already on my trip, but this podcast is going to be about. You know what I mean? I'm going to have 4 podcasts ready before I leave on this trip because I'm not going to be here, and they're all going to be different subjects, up to date. We don't talk about politics or anything anymore. We're not putting up the Ukrainian memes and Russian memes right now. So like, these podcasts can come out whenever. It's tough to, do daily content, but if you set yourself up and schedule, you can do it. Everything's just an excuse. There's always an excuse to not do something.
Right. There's always going to be a rock in the way if you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's the whole, one thing that I'd like to think about is the whole elephant effect.
Right.
Like, you can be as big as an elephant if you want to, but if you got the ball and chain on you stuck at all times, it doesn't matter. If somebody takes it off of you, you're going to be stuck in the same position you're always in.
100%. And what is to you the person and I always think about this, is there a person that has supported you more than any other person, like, in your endeavors and shit?
I would have to say, like, my pops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad, for sure, has always, like, pushed me to just do whatever it is that I say I want to do.
Right.
And then, on top of that, me. You know, like, real talk, people are always going to push you to whatever it is you say what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not until you take that first initiative to say what it is you want to do. Because if, like you said, you wanted to be an architect for a little bit, if nobody else comes and says, hey, Bigg, we want you to, make videos for us, you probably just be an architect somewhere.
No, man, yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, people will support you as much as they want to, but they can't unless you speak up about it. And holding that ground on what it is that you want to do and what it is that you feel like is right. Regardless if it blows up, regardless if it's wrong, it will always reap what it is that you've sown, which is just the faith in your own belief.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you got to be your biggest supporter. You got to decide whether you're going to turn on the Xbox and play games for a couple hours, or whether you're going to sit here and record a podcast so you can get some more practice editing, upload it, like work on sound audio, There's different types to the day, and it's not saying you can't do both. You could also not sleep. I just choose not to sleep most nights. After this, I'll be editing and on the Xbox. It'll be like 4 a.m, I'll be finished, but you know what? It'll be a good time. No, I definitely got to say, like, I've been super lucky to have, like, a group of friends that really looks at everything and comments and likes, and then also gives me real feedback to everything I do. But then not just that, like, my boy John comes out, and you seen he came out, flew the drone for the commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's helped me with multiple commercials before, videos, whenever I need him, he's there. Bill, same thing. And then, I've got my girls who just always ride for me. Hannah, my little angel, she previews all the videos. Like, most everything you guys see, Hannah sees it first to check, like, my spelling. My spelling is horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
She checks my spelling. She looks over, make sure it's the right vibe. She'll, like, tell me, like, when a video comes. I remember when the first video came out, I was mid-COVID. She was like, you sure want to post that? Because I was having a coronavirus hazmat suit party in the middle of the pandemic. We're all wearing hazmat suits, and we're throwing party, and she's like, are you sure this is the right time to post that? Idea? And she just, hits me with the truth nuggets, like, hey, like, it sounds funny, like, yeah, great, but, like, you sure you want to post that right now and get that kind of heat on your channel? And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't even think about the heat. I just thought about the content, bro. Still, she's right, so I get her to look at it. And plus, she stars in most of my vlogs and everything, and you just find that support system. My dad is always there to, like, help me. He's a professional editor. He could probably charge twice as much to do what I do. Right. He's been doing it for 20 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, he always looks through my stuff. He looked at your video, and he was helping me out with it when we were, like, looking through and fixing out some of the lighting and bugs and stuff. So, like, it's about the support system. It's about who you're looking up to. And then the last thing it's always about, and these are, like, the 3 stages to, it's like, what's the end goal, bro? Like, you trying to take music to a certain point, or you trying to, like, just see how high your ceiling goes? Is it like a never-ending, climb?
Like, because the more that you talk about, like, the whole support system, that's what it is that I feel like you can miss so easily. Like, literally, my uncle was the first one who got me in the studio. Because I remember I used to just be in my dorm recording everything that I wanted to record. Like, man, one day somebody's going to hear my music. Man, one day I'm going to get the confidence to say, all right, fuck it, bro, my music is like that.
I can spend this money on the studio session.
Right.
Go somewhere, et cetera, yeah.
Sometimes you have people who, like, push you and nudge you just a little bit to get you to a point where you realize, oh, I deserve the world. Right. Like, people need to see that they can be that light, you know what I mean? And, like, for me, I've always told myself, even as like a 13-year-old, like, the music's gonna be the music. And, like, what is so different from what it is that I do is that I'll walk the way that I talk. And I feel like not a lot of people can hold that enlightenment in what it is that they're delivering to other people. Right. Like, I know the second I get my music in front of 100,000 people, 100,000 people are going to be Italic Moon fans. That's never been the issue. It's always been, how is it that I'm going to get to control this message of saying, hey, you are the one who's next. Right. You know what I'm saying? Why are you waiting for me to blow up, for you to believe that whatever it is that you're doing is worthy of doing it?
Clip that shit right there. I don't know who watching. Clip that joint right there. Right. I like that. And what you said, that's one of the main things that drives me as well is You know, people are like, why do you YouTube? You want to be famous? You want to make money? No, I want everybody who sees my shit to understand that my shit is the shit. What I'm posting is like, I'm not fucking, like, these are well edited. I'm putting in work. I'm learning. Anything I don't know how to do, I'm going to get on there and learn how to do the post. Like, you know, I want it to be the top quality stuff. Do I want to get paid for it? Yeah. I want to get paid to do what I like. And I want everybody who sees what I'm doing to know, okay, I'm enjoying this.
Right.
You know? And that's just like, when you think about it in goal, it's to get enough people to enjoy your shit to where then it pays for everything.
Right.
You know, it pays for you to go out and make more shit, to do more shit. You know, you've got to understand that when you get to a certain point with your music, to where people, like you said, 100,000 people are calling your name, you can throw a concert and get a certain amount of those people to come. Boom, you're making bread, you're performing live, you're doing what you love, and that is your 100% job. Mike Stud is one of my biggest artists that I follow and like listen to his podcast, subscribe to his Only Steves, which is like a, you know how artists now are coming out with like accounts almost like, you know, where you can have your private content on there for people to view. Yeah, like, you know, you release extra songs on there. They release extra episodes of the podcast stuff for like their closest fans. And he said, look, man, I'm a B-list celebrity. I'm not an A-list celebrity, even though I've been in the game for a while. Right. He's like, but the whole thing is, and I can attest to this because I went to one of his concerts. When he's in a concert, every single person in that concert can sing every single word to every single one of his songs. It was amazing. And I was one of them. I can sing every single one of his songs on the album that he had. And when his final song came on These Days, and he started off, you know, you know the song, Hell Nah, I Sleep Today, and he holds the mic up. And the whole crowd sang 3/4 of the song. Then he cut it and said, all right, run it back. Then he sang it the second time. And it was so tough. It was so tough. I was like, yo, they're like drinking on stage. Like, though, they just relate. They're with their fans. Or their fans. They're actually their fans. After the concert, they're like, all right, we're hitting this bar. We're hitting this bar. All you guys come, let's go. And they're turning up in the bars around town. I got tickets to go see him in Cleveland. And it just so me and Hannah are going, and his it just so happens that his right-hand man who did all his early music videos and now it's like his manager / business partner, best friend. It's his birthday when we're going to go see the show in Cleveland. Oh, so you already know it's going to be stupid lit. You know, they're going to be telling people where they're at, you know, partying, and I'm super hyped for that because, like I said, like it's an artist that not just related to me, but he says some things sometimes. And one of the things he said recently is, you know, as an artist, is it more valuable to have 100,000 people listen to your song or 10,000 people who actually rock with all your music?
Right.
And he said that. And he said, let me explain. He's like, on Spotify, I have maybe he's at 1 billion streams now. You know, probably way over 1 million streams. You know, all this music platform. I know one of his songs is way over, man. A couple of them are. And he's like, you know, of all the streams, he was like, on my Only Steves, I have, you know, I think he said like at the time, like 6,000 people subscribed to it's like $10 a month or something like that. Maybe not even, maybe $8 a month. And, you know, for the private content and everything. And he says, think about that. Think about how little Spotify is paying artists and how big of a problem that is now. He's like, they subscribe to my Only Steves where they get all my music and then they get exclusive stuff too for $8 a month instead of paying whatever. And I'm getting, you know, say 6,000 people times $8 instead of the 1 million streams that are, those people that actually rock that are willing to give you $8 just to hear your, you know, and I'm one of them, you know, I'll subscribe. Hell yeah, like that's my guy. You know, and it's like, is it more valuable to have 10 people who are really actually in your corner, really actually care, rock with you, all this stuff? Or is it more valuable to have a bunch of people who heard a couple of your songs that'll, you know, show up to, you know what I mean?
Right, and that's real shit.
He said how he's going on this tour, and he's like, I guarantee every single person that's subscribed to Only Steves is going to be at one of these concerts. Like every single person. I'm flying to Cleveland to go to a concert. Cleveland. I'm going to Cleveland. I have an Airbnb in Cleveland and 2 tickets to his concert. That half his concert sold out in pre-sale because everybody who fucks with him, they fuck with him that hard.
Everybody who really know who it is.
You know, and you look at how small your support system is now, and I look and like I could name everybody who likes and comments and views all my shit and then talks to me about it or like has ideas and wants to. I can name them. You know, it's probably like 50, 60 people. Yeah. But imagine next year that's 100. You know, imagine something crazy happens, that boosts up to 5. You know what I mean? Then there's 1,000 people rocking with you. If only 1,000 people are rocking with you, guarantee at least 5,000 have seen it. Right. Because not everybody who sees it is going to rock with you.
Right, exactly. And
you know what I mean?
You got the haters who want to see you.
Gotta have the ones who want to see you fail. So. You know, and so the thing about that, man, and the support is going to grow exponentially. And then, you know, I think it's more important to have that core group to have that support system and then grow from that.
Seriously.
You know, focus on those people because those people will breed more and more
actual
those people
supporters. Are the incubation phase of what it is you're trying to create.
Yeah, I just met my boy Pierre last week, and I know Hannah and her friends are all huge supporters of his. You know, they love his music, you know, and so they put me onto it, and I'm listening to it, and I know that, and they repost it, and I'm like, okay, like, I've seen multiple people I know repost about this joint. Let me go listen to it, you know what I mean? All right, it's kind of hard, boom. Then I'm the next nigga, the next time he drops something, I'm reposting it, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, now I'm a fan, you know what I mean?
I'm a fan. Cause
shout out to Pierre, man. Hopefully we'll work on a project soon, you know? And so, you know, Italic Moon, like, I know some of my friends now that, like, listen to his shit. You know, they like Valentine, and then they're like, oh, yeah, did you hear this other song? I did a video for that, too. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's cool. And, you know, you just grow from each other's circles, and you grow from your circle. And like I said, everything else will come. That 100,000 will come from the 1,000 that really fuck with you, you know what I mean? And you grow and
a lot of people, when you get lost in the sauce, you know, when you get lost in trying to. What my dad always gave me he gave me probably the best advice as a kid. It was this rule called show, mo, no, right? Don't lose your for show thing. Try and get some mo thing. And end up with no thing.
Bird in the hand, bird in the bush.
Bird in the hand, bird in the bush. You can't try.
You got a bird in your hand.
Right.
You got that shit. It's already there. I forget who I was trying to explain this to, and they didn't get it. And I was like, okay, but then there's a bird in the bush, right? Where you think you heard something in the bush. It might be a bird, might be a bigger bird, might be a better bird, but it's in the fucking bush. You don't know what's in the bush.
Right.
And I learned that phrase actually at a Clemson football game. We were parking to go into the game. I believe it was my dad. And we were parking to go into the game, and we see this parking space, and it was mad far. And we were like, damn, there are more parking lots closer. He was like, yeah, but son, bird in the hand and bird in the bush.
Bird in the hand, bird in the bush.
And I remember trying to pretend like, oh, yeah, like I know exactly what he's talking about. But I had to think about it. And when I really thought about it, I was like, damn, cuz. And just like you said, I like how you said it, though. That's more hip. But a bird in the hand, bird in the bush. You know, take what you got and grow with that. Don't be trying to go chase something crazy, you know, and grow off that. So what new projects you got coming up? You got songs? You got more visuals? What's popping?
Yeah, so we got Outcast, which is probably like a 10 to 12 EP that we're dropping sometime in the next, I think, mid-March. Mid-March, if not end of March. And then after that, I think we're sitting on another 20 that we just going to keep lining out, streaming out.
Okay.
What I'm really excited about, what I really want to do is start creating a world building more for what it is that visually that I have for this whole Italic Moon brand name. It's a collection of not only songs but this story that is this character that builds and evolves through these different situations.
I know you told me about like the comic book type joint you wanted to do, like animation and stuff.
So yeah, we're building on the animation, and that's really the end goal is to, when somebody sees or hears a song, they get sucked into the story. They don't get sucked into.
Animation is tough.
They don't get this beat aside. It's like, oh shoot, okay, what is this? I need to know everything about it, and let me get sucked in more.
I like it. Nah, I think doing all that, staying consistent, man, you're gonna grow real fast. I'm trying to become more consistent on the channel myself.
Yeah.
We got some podcasts coming. We're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be recording more at once to give you guys more content. Got some small vlogs. Got the Vegas vlog coming, and then you definitely know we're gonna have at least 2 parts of Argentina. You know, we gotta have some Mexico for a week. You know, it's gonna be some good content coming soon. Stay consistent as much as we can. Post for you guys. You know how hard it is. So I rock with anybody who supports. Once again, go peep the music video. Go peep the vlog. Go just look at the channel in general. You know, if you're not subscribed, your mom's up.
Right.
And, you know, if you don't at least like a single video, mom's old, man. I just don't even know how to explain it. You know, I was just making sure y'all knew that we knew that your mom's a hoe. Don't let your mom be a hoe. Go like all the comments, all that stuff.
Comment too. You forgot.
Comment on the music video. Let us know what you think. Review video. Everything coming soon. It's been Big Talk, Season 3, Episode 2. We out. Peace.